Hello everyone, and welcome back to Unscripted. Outer body experiences and the astral realm of existence. Now that's a fascinating subject. At least for me, it is. And I'm hoping that maybe also for you. Especially because I would like to share with all of you an personal experience that I've had that touches exactly this subject: astral projection and astral realm of existence. Before I get into it, I would just like to set the stage a little, let's say like this, and give a little, background info as to when did this experience happen. It was like 4 years ago, something like this. And at the time, I was very interested at the world and the real realm of existence through the subject of witchcraft, let's say, but in a very cool and clear-minded approach. Curiosity drives many things. Anyway, so one morning, I remember I had woken up from my night sleep. I was lying in bed, and I didn't yet open my eyes, but I was awake. And I could feel the light from outside through the window. I was awake, and I was thinking, it's really comfortable here. I should try to sit a little more. And when you wake up in the morning, especially, the first few seconds, they are fine, they're okay. You still feel dreamy, you still feel like you're not quite into the real realm yet. So if you keep your eyes closed a little more, you're still in between, And at one time, in a few seconds, it starts to come back to reality. You have to do that. You have to wake up and drink your coffee, and everything is like slowly coming back into your head. Slowly, but quite fast. I think you understand what I want to say. Anyway, so in that moment when reality just started to force its way in my brain to say, come on, okay, open your eyes and just get up and let's start the day. In that moment, I said to myself, like, okay, fine, let's do this. Let's face the day. And then I said, okay, I'm gonna get up now and open my eyes, And of course I did it, I opened my eyes, I got up. Still sitting, but, just up on the bed. And I remember looking around. I was still foggy because I had just woken up, And I look around and the bed and the bed sheet and the cover, and it seemed the same. Everything was the same. The bed, the cover, the bed sheet, the colors, everything was okay. But when I looked in the room around, I was not in my room. I wasn't in my room anymore. I was in a very different room. One that was considerably larger. In fact, it was holding in front of me a table for dining, and after the table for dining there was still some space, and then there was a fully equipped kitchen. It was like an all-in-one living quarter, bedroom, living, kitchen, dining. It was just a room. The walls, they felt a little grayish, and they gave this impression like concrete, like just poured concrete, concrete wall. But the room itself, it felt kind of cozy and comfortable because there was bed, there was chairs, there was this feeling like it's a home. There was a fireplace, it gave you this cozy feeling. And not only that, it even smelled. You could feel this smell of it, like you are in some kind of a castle built from stones, large stones and things like this. You had this kind of a musty, rocky smell, It felt like that also, even though I was just in a room, I couldn't know that. I'm just describing the smells and everything, that how it felt to the room, There was a nice chandelier there. And at the table, on the dining part, on the table, it was set, the table for dining. And there were all these kinds of foods there on the table. And they all smelled and amazing. You could feel them. They were real. They were there, So, of course, naturally, I just got up from the bed. And I wanted to go to the table, to eat. And I got up. And when I looked back, I looked at my bed, that I'm getting out of the bed. But I was still in the bed. I could see myself still in the bed, sleeping. It freaked me out a little. I panicked a little, and I kind of like jolted back into my body. And I still didn't open my eyes. Lucky I didn't open my eyes, I guess. And for a split second, my brain was like, "But don't be afraid. Just go ahead and explore these things. You know what it is. It's an outer body experience, And that was the moment when I realized that I was also dreaming and also awake in the same time, in the bed. That's like the vibrational area. They say when you get to a certain vibration, then these are two rounds, they level up, and that's when you experience them. And so of course I got up quickly back again, hoping that when I open my eyes it's not going to be my real room. And I opened my eyes and I was still there. So it was real. I went down, pulled a chair. It was this nice chair made out of massive wood. I sat down and I tasted the food, and it was wonderful. It tasted good. Everything felt real. You felt everything. Chewing, swallowing the food and touching it and smell. It was wonderful. At one time, as I was taking a few bites, something had caught my attention. It was the sound of pouring water. So I turned in the direction from where it was coming. It was coming from somewhere on the right side of the room. And there was a door there. It was like a door to a bathroom. Sorry. A bathroom. And I went in the bathroom to see why the water is running. And the water was actually running on the bathtub, to fill the bathtub. And this really captivated me, the running water that was coming from the faucet to fill in the bathtub, because the water didn't go straight, like directly in the tub. It made a curve. It was going, then it went to the left on a straight line, and then down again. It was going in a curve, like a reversed 4, and dropping inside, in the tub. But the lid on the tub was not set, so the water was just continuously going. So that moment I stopped the water, and I could hear from outside the room where I was, I could hear people, voices, and children laughing and running. And as I looked in that direction, the door to the room that I was in was open, and it led to a hallway where there were people walking around and children running around and having fun. It was a happy scene, There was one child sitting with his back against the wall, and a little like choo-choo position, like now, and he felt like a little sad. I'm not sure why was that. Anyway, so I went out from the room to go on the hallway to see what's happening, what's going on, why is everybody so nice and happy and running. And from the hallway I could hear adults' voices coming out from another room, but not a room, it was like from outside. It was like the door to a terrace. And on the terrace, I went outside. There were multiple entries from the hallway to the terrace. There were like these kind of voltas. And I went there, and there were people there, and they were watching from a very nice high terrace towards a town, a city. It was a very nice view of a city down. It's not like a metropolis, this huge city. It was more like a town, a village, but a big one. And it was surrounded by mountains all around. It was like a valley everywhere, mountains, and the city was down, you know. And it was very nice, the view. I was captivated by it, and I just all of a sudden felt this urge to go over the edge of the terrace and try to fly away, you know. And the people that they were sitting around, they started to encourage me to do this, to try this experience. So I did so. I got to the edge. They even helped me to get up on the edge, spread my hands, and I started to fly over the whole city and immense valley, you know. I went completely on top of the whole thing above, you know. And I could see the whole valley and the mountains all around. I could see the balcony, the terrace from where I have taken off, you know, flew away. And it was a very nice terrace that was embedded in the mountain. It was like the cliffs itself, the rocks, they were like living places. It was like condos for people living there inside the mountains, you know, the rocks. It was very nice, camouflaged, but also very nice, visually. And I was above this amazing town, looking around, and I could see it was like evening, and the lights were almost everywhere on the town. And in the center of it, there was a big statue of an angel that had his wings spread, of course, and his hands like this, like over the city, over the town. It felt like it's a protector, a symbol of. It was by far the largest thing that there was in that town, you know. And it was lit from all kind of directions like this, so you could see it. It was magnificent. It was very nice. And I remember I'm just gonna go on the other side of the valley and land down on one of the hills there, so I can see the view from the other side. And of course I just went there, I flew there, landed down, and I just looked at it and I was just like, I started to wonder, but where is this place? Where am I? What is this place? And then all of a sudden I got pulled back like really fast, going backwards, you know. Wow, everything started to get small and shrinked away. Everything shrinked away until it was like a coin inside a bag full of golden coins, and next to it there were like silver and crowns and things like this. There was a full bag of golden coins and silver, and everything was on the ground next to a tree that you could see his roots going out through the ground everywhere and extend very nicely outside with a big nice canopy, corona, you know. I was like, whoa, that's where we are, inside a coin, inside a bag full of I don't know how many coins, surrounded by silver and gold on the roots bottom of a tree. And then all of a sudden I got pulled really back fast again. Everything started to shrink, and it was going so fast that everything became dark. Everything got encompassed in a single coin. It was silver, and it had on it as an emblema, it had the astrological symbol for Libra, the scale. And then that coin, like in midair, just flipped like this with a shine, and I woke up. I opened my eyes and I was in the bed, in my room, ready to start the day, you know. Reality. It was all of a sudden, It was reality. I was in the real world. Now that was a fascinating outer body experience. I would say that's where I categorized it. I don't know what to say about this. I'm not here to convince anyone that these things are real. Everybody can make up their own mind, do their own homework regarding this, and find out by themselves, what this is and if it's real or not, or if you deem it real or whatever. But just like me, many other people, and even including me, I have other experience since that was the first one actually. Since then, like these similar things like this, all these kind of stories, they really seem intriguing. They spark interest. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this story and this episode. And if you did so, of course, don't forget, subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one, of course. Leave a comment. What do you think about all of this? If it's something you are interested in, or if you've had similar experiences like this, I would like to hear. Like and share. All the best. Take care.